Welcome into episode 6 of Charts and Checks, the podcast where we talk about 3 of your favorite stocks from a fundamental, financial, and technical perspective. This week, we'll be reviewing the quarters that were Palantir and AMD, as well as precapping the quarter to come from Palo Alto. We are your hosts. I am the gorilla with glasses, Don Foyani, and Alvaro is of the Bilingual Stock Market channel, where he talks stocks in Spanish and English on the regular. Say hello to the folks and get us started, Alvaro.
What's up, folks? How are you guys doing today?
I hope
Did anyone buy the Fortinet dip? Well, software stocks got annihilated today, but what do you think?
I think
Nasty
that
day, huh? I could also bought it for software stocks,
it was rough.
courtesy of Fortinet.
It was a very, very rough day for all of those stocks, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I think everyone saw the guidance that Fortinet put out, and they got concerned that when CrowdStrike, Palo Alto, or name your favorite cybersecurity company reports, many of them report in the next 2 weeks, that they were going to issue similar guidance. If anything, this makes me more bullish about the setup for all the stocks to come, because I think Fortinet is going to be shown to be an outlier.
Yeah, and also, names like Snowflake, Salesforce. So anything software related got decimated today. So yeah, we have a lot to dig into here today. Yeah, let's go.
Do you want to start with Palo Alto then, since we're talking about it?
Sure, go ahead.
Excellent. So for
Yes.
those that aren't super familiar with the company, Palo Alto is just it was originally a firewall company, and they've come a long way growing into a one-stop shop for everyone's cybersecurity needs. Specifically, they were talking about network and cloud security as well as security ops. But the one hole that they had was in identity protection, which they decided to fill with a $25 billion cash and stock check to acquire CyberArk, which specializes in that. That's
Correct.
the story.
That's a company that they are purchasing, right?
Yeah, 25 billion cash and stock.
Wow, it's a lot of money.
I think it's very bullish overall.
It
for
better
Palo
be
Alto.
a good purchase for Palo Alto.
It's a huge purchase. They certainly, well, I mean, it's cash and stock. I looked at crowds because I was talking about what other cybersecurity companies might end up getting acquired, looking into it. And unfortunately, I don't know how bullish we can be on someone else getting scooped up. CrowdStrike has about 4.6 billion in cash equivalents, Fortinet 4 billion. They would need to do a cash and stock deal as well, and I don't know if they're going to want to do that. Unless it's for something amazing. In CyberArk, I looked through a list of 10 cybersecurity companies between 1 billion and $30 billion in market cap. I don't know. I can't see CrowdStrike or Fortinet going after any of them from a strategic point of view to really impair their balance sheet in that way. Nothing stood out to me.
The bulls say that what's the name of the company? CyberArk.
Yes.
That the acquisition of that company is going to be boosting PANW's revenue significantly. So
Of course.
we can actually take a look at the income statement of CyberArk. Try to
Pull it up.
have some idea about what could be potentially happening in the future once Palo Alto takes over CyberArk.
Here's the big. I think here for me is the big picture. Palo Alto, because they were originally a firewall company and have been transitioning into this cloud hybrid model, there was a concern, and this actually came up in the second quarter of 2024, that transition was going to take a little bit longer than the street once expected, and it was the famous spending fatigue quarter that caused one of the worst overnight sessions for Palo Alto in the stock's history. And the general consensus in the market was that it was going to take some time, or more time than previously was anticipated, for Palo Alto to get the annual recurring revenue business to be completely cloud-based. And that's considered the creme de creme. It's sticky. It doesn't change. It's very scalable. So when they came out and said there was spending fatigue, people thought that there would be some concern about transitioning their legacy clients to hybrid and cloud clients. So the reason, in my opinion, that this is such a big deal, the CyberArk acquisition, is that this is not only just going to add a bunch of top-line revenue and make the company look fundamentally better, it's going to add a bunch of top-line, it's called next-gen security is the term for it. Next-gen security, ARR, or It's recurring revenue.
So the company is going to become a better company from a fundamental standpoint. So
Right. So, well, what's more important is that not only is the revenue could go up, the revenue in the right place is going to go up. Right now, in my opinion, the valuations of these companies, the money metrics, is all next gen ARR. So they're going to get a valuation boost as well as a fundamental boost for this purchase. And I don't think you could say that about any of the other cybersecurity names out there that would have to go by. Like CrowdStrike is 100% cloud.
correct.
So it wouldn't have made sense for them to go after CyberArk unless they wanted to get more into identity management. This fills a strategic hole for Palo Alto in both a strategic fundamental sense as well as a fundamental valuation sense.
Would you agree with the bulls of the cybersecurity space that state that there is no bearish case for these cybersecurity companies because every single company of the world needs to keep investing on cybersecurity because of artificial intelligence, because hackers and stuff, are going to become like more efficient using artificial intelligence?
Oh, 100%. And also, it's not just about hackers becoming more efficient.
I mean, I've heard some analysts saying that this is a no-brainer. That
of course
these companies go, the stocks of these companies go down, and you simply buy the dip because there is no bearish case here. I mean, unless I don't know, we say that we go into a super economic depression in the U.S. and most companies, decrease their investments, in cybersecurity. So
no, in a recession, obviously spending everywhere gets cut, but cybersecurity might actually this is not like in a recession, everything will get hit, especially these growth stocks. But coming out of the recession, you kind of I would imagine that cybersecurity is the last place any budget gets cut. In the United States, it is now federal mandate that if you have a cyber breach, a material cyber breach is the word material, you need to disclose it within, I think, a week, maybe 2 weeks. So it is in your best interest to have a cybersecurity provider. There's going to be no boardroom in this country where someone's going to be like, all right, we got to cut the budget. Let's start with cybersecurity. That's never going to happen. The bear case would need to be a recession, like you said, but not because it would hurt the fundamentals of the stocks, but because it would hurt the valuations of the stocks.
Correct. Yeah, the value of future cash flows. Okay, but would you invest in the ETF? I think that the ticker symbol is BUG. But correct. Would you invest in the ETF, or would you try to pick a winner?
There's bug and there's hack.
Because as of now, we have two big winners, Panw and CrowdStrike. There's no debate in that, right?
I would agree. I don't think there's any argument. People want to argue that Fortinet is going to be next. I think that the quarter was, it was a bad quarter. The guidance wasn't great. But I think that Fortinet might be today where Palo Alto was in the second quarter of 24. The weakness in the guidance had to do with taking more time to convert people to their hybrid cloud solution than anticipated. Morgan Stanley and another bank
the stock fell. The stock dropped.
It lost more than a quarter of its value.
Unbelievable.
Or sorry, a quarter. It might have lost exactly
25%. Unbelievable.
A fifth of its value in a day.
So do you think that push to the downside is a bit overdone?
I think it is a bit overdone, but that doesn't mean that they're out of the woods. If there's two ways of looking at the quarter. One is that they're playing the long game. They're like, we need to make sure that we get the cloud transition right. It's going to take time, and it's going to be a little bit painful. We got to go slow. That's the bullish interpretation, and you would look at this as an opportunity. The bearish interpretation is you have a quarter where revenue and I think earnings even met expectations, but the guidance missed. You could sit down and say, this was the last good quarter. I think a balanced way of viewing it is.
But with an expensive valuation, you cannot miss on guidance. I mean,
of course not.
If that happens, they demolish you, and that's what happened, right? So
100%. I think a conservative or a balanced way of looking at it is to admit not a great quarter, but if you believe in cybersecurity and you believe that Fortinet will be able to replicate what Palo Alto has done, transitioning their legacy clients to hybrid clients, which is what Fortinet is doing, then you should see Fortinet down here as an opportunity. You could buy a little bit now and then just wait for the next quarter. If I were in charge of allocating money to Fortinet, I would have bought today, and then I would have set a reminder in 3 months to buy
You
again.
did buy Fortinet today?
I did buy Fortinet today on the close. Yeah.
So you try to catch that falling knife? Do you have any technical levels that you can share with us?
Sure, yeah. If you don't mind, can you pull up Thinkorswim? I could just tell you what to pull up.
Okay. Let me pull up my fingers in.
Do you have access to the 200 week?
This is gonna be fun. I don't have it set up, but
All right, let's see. If it takes too long, I'll try to grab it.
okay. So let me pull up here a half of an hour here. So Ftnt. Well, take a look at this, brother. I mean, the dip ended up being
No, the dip,
bought up,
the
right?
dip has not been bought.
$70.
Don't say that. Don't say that. That's not true.
No, they did buy the dip.
Oh, just
I mean,
stop
the low-
it. Stop it. It
Bro,
lost a quarter. It lost 20% of its
Okay,
value.
don't get mad at me.
I'm mad at you.
Okay, so the low today was $70. It is trading at $75.
Oh my goodness, Albert.
They bought the dip.
The price was 99 yesterday.
My goodness. I mean, the next potential gap to the upside would be this previous support, $78.
Sure. Here, real quick. I need you to give me I need you to give me 2 to 5 years, whichever you can do.
Okay, let me see. I have the 3-year.
That's great. Can you pull up? This is weekly. Pull up a 200 week simple moving average.
Let me pull up a simple moving average here. So
yeah, for 200 weeks.
SMA. I have this simple moving average. Okay, on a weekly. So let me get the. Where is my simple? Here it is. MA 200. Wow, this is. I mean, we're doing this.
We're doing it live, baby.
Yeah, this is live. Yeah, I mean not live, but
it's live.
We're improvising here.
You weren't ready for this.
There you go. There is. That's your two.
To the penny.
To the penny. This is 200. This is the 200 week moving average. Bro.
To the penny.
To the penny. Yeah. This is a great call out, man, from your end. So
Alvaro, I'm not married to this. If it closes 1 week
and
below
take a
that,
take a look at how this 200 week moving average already acted as support, July of 2024, and also in November of 2023.
And for reference, July of 2024 was the CrowdStrike outage.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, and every single cybersecurity stock went down. So would you say that if this level is respected and held as support, $70?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a great coincidence, Brady.
Not a coincidence. That's the market.
$70. Take a look. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, I mean, okay, what happens if would you exit the trade? It's not a trade, right? So just
this is very much a trade. Position. This is very much a trade.
Oh, okay. What happens? Would you exit the trade?
If this close, because this is a weekly moving average, so you monitor this by the week.
Yeah.
If at 100%. 4 o'clock on Friday, this stock is below 60, was it 68.82? Is that what it is?
69-ish.
Whatever. If it's below the 200 week, then I close the position, and I can always re-enter it, but I'm not going to mess around, because if it breaks the 200 week, then it's really a falling knife, and I have no interest in being in there.
I gotcha. Perfect. Okay.
We were going to talk about Palo Alto. Do you want to talk?
Let's go. Yeah, but this is super interesting, man. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that 200 week moving average for sure. In the case of Panw, I mean the chart looks crappy, bro. Take a look at this. Let me put up this photo chart of Panw. So below the moving averages, below the 50, the 20. Yeah, take a look at the 5. The 5 DMA is downward sloping. This is not a good looking chart. And
real quick, can you zoom out? Yeah. Can you give me that full year?
Yeah. Okay, let me pull up a daily chart. Yeah, sure.
I mean, even that one was fine. I don't know about you. I see a reverse head and shoulders forming.
On what chart?
This one.
I don't see it. Oh, okay. Like
reverse head and shoulders. You see the.
You see it like here.
So the head is the big dip, the low.
144.
And the shoulders to the left. The shoulders, the dip to the left.
Okay.
No, here? More to the left.
Here?
Yeah, that.
Oh, okay.
And then the other shoulder's being formed right now.
So, say that as long as 166 is held as support, this could end up being an inverse head and shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be the case. Yeah. So the thing is that once the news broke out about the purchase of CyberArk, this stock was trading at $205.
Yeah, almost an all-time high.
And yeah, this is a 20% drop on
In
a
a bear
process
market.
that is supposedly going to be very positive for Palo Alto. So,
Well, the acquirer always gets punished.
yeah,
And the fact that this
$25 billion. So, yeah.
but I mean, it's also stock, so there could be dilution. I understand the response. I wasn't shocked by that. And today, like you said at the open, the market just gave up on cybersecurity and everything else. Like CrowdStrike was down 2 or 3% because Fortinet was down 20. That was the story of the day.
Gotcha. I would like to go over the multiples of PAW.
Let's do it.
But I cannot get reverse. Okay, there you go. So let me share my screen again quickly so we can move on to AMD or Palantir. We'll see.
Whichever.
Okay, so yeah, in the case of PNW, let me see. You can see my Yahoo Finance. Or can you see Yahoo Finance?
Yes, you're good. You're there.
Okay,
You're there.
perfect. Yeah, PNW. Let me reconcile quickly the multiples of Palo Alto relative with Fortinet. If you had to pick one of these two stocks, which one would you pick?
Between Palo Alto and which?
And Fortinet?
Well, Palo Alto. It's further along in the transition from legacy and hardware to completely hybrid and completely cloud-based.
Yeah, I say this because I guess that the multiples of Fortinet are like way lower relative to Palo Alto's. So $115 billion, this is a market cap. We have a P ratio of 99, forward of 47. So this company trades at 47 times forward earnings. And we have a price to sell for 13. In the case of Fortinet, Ftnt, let me see Fortinet. What do we get here? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, lower multiples.
Sure.
I mean, the price of sales is pretty much the same one relative to Palo Alto. And this is a smaller company. $74 billion of market cap, PE of 39. It trades at 39 times forward earnings.
And I heard the thing, Alvaro. I think that forward number is actually going to it might move because analysts are going to revise their expectations over the next 3-4 days. The number's going to go lower, so the valuation might end up going a lot higher, which isn't great.
In the case of PNW, we have, let me see. This is PNW.
Yeah, you're there.
Yeah, so
PANW.
Yeah, PNW. Palo Alto. So 15% year over year revenue growth, which is good. Revenue is growing.
Yep.
On a very consistent basis.
Looks
so that's good. Yeah. So we have the net income. Net income was down 6% year over year, but this is a growth stock, so they shouldn't be minding a lot on revenue, on net income rather. So yeah, this is a profitable company. No issues about that. The net income has been going down.
Whatever.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah,
whatever. So in the case of Fortinet, Ftnt, let's go see. Is this a growth machine such as Palo Alto? Yeah, it is.
They're in the same industry. Like, it's one of the big three for a reason.
13% year over year revenue growth. Net income, $440 million. So when you take a look at the revenue that these companies are making, Dan, and actually, and if you also take a look at the net income that they're making, so this industry is still, at an early stage of development. So take a look. These companies are making $440 million on net income, revenue. They are barely making $1 billion on revenue. What revenue is Palo Alto making? So I don't know if, $2.2 billion. So if you compare these figures relative with the revenue that Amazon and Google and Meta and the big tech stocks are making, we can make a case that this industry is scalable.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Into the future. Needless to say, if artificial intelligence takes over the world and, and hackers become better at it. So
in that case, buy the dip.
Yeah, long story short, go ahead, guys, and buy the dip.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
Hold on, one more thing before we move on. I'm just going to share a little
Okay.
chart I put together on Palo Alto. So right now it's actually testing the 100-week SMA. It's a pretty important level. Doesn't visit there often. It did there,
We just looked at it.
yeah, during the tariff tantrum, and then it violated there during the October 2022 lows. The long story short is that over the last, by the way, this is a 5-year weekly chart. The point of the matter is, over the last 5 years, anytime an investor has bought Palo Alto near this 100-week moving average, it hasn't taken them long to be rewarded.
There
Palo
you
Alto
go.
is a fantastic company. I really agree. I agree with you, Alvaro. I don't see a true bear case for cybersecurity. In fact, the business for cybersecurity might end up being bigger than that of AI. I know that sounds insane,
Wow.
but AI,
That's a big statement, bro. Right there.
as you stated, feeds in to the cyber story. AI is going to enable more people to get involved in cyber attacks, is going to enable people to basically, this is going to sound stupid, but I don't have a better way of saying it, scale cyber attacks. Like instead of, if you're part of some sort of organization that is involved in nefarious activities online, the same way that a corporation can cut members from the group because AI can do their jobs, they can get AI to do certain things that a person might otherwise have to. So it is going to increase the amount of cyber, and we've already seen it increase the amount of cyber attacks that are being experienced. So in my opinion, it's just a bull market, no matter how you put it. And this chart says that buying Palo Alto here, even ahead of the quarter, you'll be rewarded. So
There you go.
we'll certainly see.
Nice. Yeah, nice chat about cybersecurity, man. Thanks. Thank you very
Of
much.
course.
Oh, by the
What do
way,
you want to go now?
I forgot to turn on my lights, so I'll do it now.
You're all right.
Let's go over AMD.
AMD, sure.
Yeah, sure. Why
You
not?
said you didn't like the quarter. I'm going to need you to talk to me about this.
Um, they made a profit based on an accounting trick
Money is
on
money, baby.
taxes. So yeah, so they actually posted an operating loss. So that's what I didn't like about the quarter because the valuation is expensive. So the bar was very high. But that's the only thing that was the only, I would say, upsetting factor from my end relative to the report. But the dip ended up being bought up, bro, and the stock went up
Took a
today.
day.
Yeah.
It took all of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that I am a shareholder. I own 200 shares at an average cost of $132. Lucky enough, I sold one covered call before the report,
Nice.
and I ended up I was lucky. Let's just put it that way. I ended up making $1,000 out of the call, and I haven't sold any other call because the stock was dropped down to $160. That was an important level. That level was held
Very
as
much so.
support. It bounced off that level. So, but you like the report, right? So
Yeah, no, I think I was more optimistic than you were when it came out. Don't get me wrong. I totally agree with the fact that there was no other reaction the stock could have had. You can't have a rally like AMD had and have a quarter like that and keep your gains.
correct,
In fact,
correct.
I'm not necessarily surprised the dip got bought, and I'll get into that in a moment. I'm surprised it got bought so quickly. In my opinion, the quarter was just kind of like fine. It was nice, maybe. But at the end of the day, they did give you a roadmap to becoming a contender for the 10 to 20% of the AI GPU market that NVIDIA just isn't going to be able to meet the demand for because the market is just so big. What I saw on the surface was a revenue beat. Now, I understand that most of the beat, or the beat, is being attributed to their gaming segment. I don't know. I looked at the data center numbers. Those were still phenomenal. I think that's kind of just people trying to explain the price action. Like I think had the stock went up, people would have said, "Oh, look at the data center beat." I feel like the price really overshadowed how people, or really rather tainted how people covered the quarter. But at the end of the day, we saw margins compress a little bit. In my opinion, I would have expected them to compress a bit. You have all these issues with tariffs, all this confusion, all this
Yeah, gross
uncertainty.
margin went down. I think
Yeah,
quarter over quarter. It did from 63% down to 43%.
right. But
So
if you,
that's the thing that some people think about AMD in NVIDIA terms, and I
yeah,
mean, this is not NVIDIA, so you cannot expect a super amazing quarter such as the ones that NVIDIA,
mhm,
has been reporting during the last 3 years. But yeah, so gross margin went down quarter over quarter, and yeah, so this is a stock that has an expensive valuation. So
Well, real quick,
I don't know, maybe it was too demanding with the quarter. I don't know.
yeah, well, I mean, after listening to the call, and they talked about that their margins would have actually been 54% if you adjust out some of the abnormalities of the past quarter. I'm actually okay with this margin dip. I listened to the call. I read a little bit of coverage. A lot of smart people that know the stock far better than I do are attributing this decrease in margin also in part to them focusing on developing the hardware and software stack to actually have a recurring revenue business attached to AI. So once this CapEx boom ends, they'll still have a real business attached to AI. They're decyclitizing their company. It's the same thing that NVIDIA is doing. They're basically becoming NVIDIA light, but not NVIDIA competitor. In my mind, it was a good quarter from a fundamental, the company is still working perspective, but a bad quarter from a pure financial P&L, you didn't meet the bar sense.
Gotcha. Say that this stock goes down once again to 160, 165. I would like to share my screen here to show you something. Would you be interested in buying the dip? Let me show you a technical chart of AMD here quickly. So yeah, because it held the rising 20-day moving average as support. Take a look to the penny. Look,
Hold on, yeah.
it went down to $160, which was a previous 52-week high, coinciding with the previous support back from late July. And can you see the 20 DMA in pink?
Sure, yeah.
It acted as support to the penny. It was rising, or it is actually rising. So it ended up pushing price up. So would you be a buyer of AMD at 160 if we happen to see this dip taking place once again?
This just isn't something I'm interested in buying. I own a lot of NVIDIA. I own a lot of Broadcom. I own a handful of TSM.
But you were, hold on. You were very outspoken defending the report. So why wouldn't you buy AMD at,
Well,
why wouldn't you be buying AMD at 160?
Because the expectations didn't, it's still not, to me, it's still overvalued.
Oh, okay, I got it. But looking into the future, you did like the commercial guidance, right?
Yeah, no, I thought if they can meet their guidance, it's going to be fantastic. But still, they were trading at multiples that was higher than NVIDIA has throughout this AI boom. I'm sorry, I can't put a multiple so high on AMD when their growth rate isn't what NVIDIA's was.
Gotcha. From a strict technical standpoint, the bulls of AMD can hold this 5 DMA in white as support 172. I wouldn't be surprised if we see.
I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that it
185
goes crazy. I hope it goes crazy.
Sure. Well, I mean, the dip got bought up right away. The bulls held as support the rising 20 DMA. They recaptured into the closing bell today the 5 DMA 172. This thing holds 172 as support, bro. And if the markets keep rising, I don't know, maybe the SPY makes a new all-time highs and stuff. I think that the bulls have the upper hand here in the case of
They
AMD.
certainly do. Can I add to that?
Sure. 100%.
Check this out. I'm going to share. This is just like really long term. This is a 10-year monthly with the 12-month simple moving average and the MACD also monthly below it. In the last 10 years, I don't have the fifth time it crossed over on here. It's just not important. It's crossed over 5 times in a positive fashion where you've had the MACD go positive, a bullish crossover, and bullish activity at the 12-month. It's a pretty decent sign of getting in. It's not a great way of knowing when to get out. But when I see this chart and I see that AMD just had a bullish MACD crossover and has cleanly separated from the 12-month, that is a firm indication that from an intermediate to long term, the bulls are in control of this thing. I think there's a lot of money to be made trading here. And if I were trading the stock, I'll be honest, I would just wait for it to break 180 and play the breakout that way. I don't see the need to rush this, because if this thing gets above 180, it's going to have a date with, 200, 210, 220. 180 is a huge level of resistance.
Do you see all-time highs for this thing?
If it breaks through 180, why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Sure.
Again, this is just not for me. I don't, and the reason I was defending the quarter was because I felt as though the discussion was a bit lazy. Stock went down, quarter bad. Nah, not really. Not exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. All right. We can agree to disagree. So now let's go over
Yeah, we'll move
Palantir.
on.
Yeah, let's move on.
We'll move on to something that I'm sure.
Before we get in a
Yeah,
fight.
well, now listen. We're now we're going to talk about something that there is no bear case for.
Palantir.
Correct.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bro,
So,
the quarter was stellar, and I made a video yesterday in Spanish. So there's an analyst that speaks on CNBC on a constant basis, an analyst from Jeffries. I don't remember his name.
I don't know his name either.
I made a video, but he's been debating with Ben Ives about Palantir and stuff. And this guy looked embarrassed yesterday or the day before on CNBC, like, hey guys, for the most part, this is a capitulation. I don't know how higher this stock can go. I don't understand this stock. And he said that this is the most unique software company ever.
Sure, I would agree.
There's no way to compare Palantir with any other peer. I mean, if we're going to talk about software companies. So, but the question then, because I've been getting this question a lot from the members of our two servers in English and Spanish. And by the way, guys, if you want to join us, in the description box of this video, you have the link.
Oh, also, while you're here, before we get into it, like us, subscribe here, leave us a review. It's important, and we'll be on Spotify soon, so we'll be asking for you to do it there.
Awesome. So the question that I am getting a lot from the bulls of Palantir is like, should I sell the stock here? So, and if this stock goes down, how low could it go? So can it keep going higher? What are we talking about? 200, 100, $250, $300.
It has a date with 200.
Yeah, it is very close to 200. I wouldn't be surprised if that gap gets filled. I don't think that all gaps get filled, but that $200 gap is like, it is going to start to act like a magnet. Yeah, I agree on that.
I feel as though if you want to risk I would say this. At $200, I feel like you have permission to part way with some of your shares, especially if you haven't taken profits on the way up. However, I think you really need to just use some form of technical indicator to apply discipline here. Because in my opinion, the fundamental story is insane. And we can start with this, and it is the chart from their deck that has made the rounds these past few days. So this is the rule of 40. And for those of you that don't know, you basically take a company's revenue growth year over year and you add it to their EBITDA margin. And if it's above 40, it's considered to be doing really, really well. Well, Palantir ranks at 94, second only to NVIDIA at 122. So in my opinion...
NVIDIA is not a software company.
No, it is not. It is not. But it's just to make the point that this company is growing at such an outstanding rate and at such a high quality, because the EBITDA is also high. It's a high gross margin. That if you're a rule of 40 and you're at 92 or whatever you're at, I'm sorry, valuation doesn't matter. People aren't going to like to hear that, but if you're growing like this and you're collecting money like this, valuation doesn't matter for you. So if you want to talk about downside protection, it needs to be through the use of technical indicators.
Yeah, while the stock remains sexy and the study behind Palantir doesn't lose any traction, multiples doesn't matter at all.
Not at all. And
they don't matter at all.
The analysts are still behind on this. One of the big headlines from the quarter that needed to be explained more, but people just kind of brushed over it, they reached $1 billion. Analysts didn't expect them to reach $1 billion in revenue until the end of this year. So analysts are still behind on the numbers. They're still underestimating this. As Dan Ives would say, AI is not in the numbers. Humans are not prepared for exponential growth. It's really, really hard for us. It's really hard for us. And Palantir, the proof of it.
My favorite aspect of this business is financial analysis.
100%.
I like it like even more than technical analysis. And I cannot understand this company. I cannot wrap my head around the valuation. So the only thing that I know for sure is that while the story, as I just said, remains sexy and the story behind Palantir doesn't lose any traction, if the stock goes down, and it will go down eventually, of course, because of profit taking, because we got some sort of bad news because
Right.
the economy is going to collapse and we are headed to a recession or
We
whatever it
will
is.
need a broad macro event.
Correct, exactly. But whenever the stock goes down, and this is something that Dan Ives told us in New York City in June,
Yep.
you just buy the dip. The stock will keep going up.
100%.
Until the markets see the demand about to top, or the demand actually topping. So that will be the end of the rally. So who knows when is that actually going to happen, bro? I mean, who knows? I don't own a crystal ball.
In my opinion, it's not just about the story. It is really the fun. Like, it's interesting because the fundamentals are now part of the story. Scoring 94 on the Rule of 40 is literal insanity.
Outstanding.
If you
100%.
think about that, like me saying that and it hitting your brain, you're like, oh, sure. But if you think about that, like you really think about that, it's almost unfathomable. The only other company that's doing better than them on this metric is the one that is at the heart of AI. No other company, no Mag 7 name. In fact, Meta and
So would you say that Palantir is like the most AI, the most artificial intelligence company out there?
so here's the incremental dollar. Here's the additional bull case.
Because let me show you something, bro.
Do it.
This is really mind blowing. So let me share my screen again. Okay, let me show you this. So this is proof of the fact that analysts don't know what to do with this company. Take a look at this. So take a look at the revenue growth forecast of the analysts that are covering Palantir as of now. 2026, 30%. 2027, 30%. 2028, 42%. 2029, 31%.
Yeah, whatever.
So when you see analysts projecting more than 20% year-over-year revenue growth
They don't know what
into
they're
the
doing.
future, that implies that they have no clue about when the demand could be getting to a top. No clue. Nobody has a clue.
Yeah, it's funny. I see that
This is impressive, bro. This is absolutely mind-blowing.
Well, that's the
Take
thing.
a look. Take a look at this, bro. Take a look at the revenue growth expectations for NVIDIA, which is the godfather of AI.
It's the heart of this whole thing.
Okay, but take a look. 2029, minus 4%. 2030, 12%.
Wow.
So as of now, including NVIDIA in the list, Palantir is the company that is supposedly going to benefit from artificial intelligence the most in the world.
Right.
You don't see these kind of revenue growth projections on any other stock out there. Zero. This doesn't exist in artificial intelligence terms.
This is what's interesting to me.
Take a look at this. It's impressive.
The forward PE. Yeah, sure.
Now, I'm not going to discuss multiples. I'm not going to be discussing
the
multiples.
The multiples are high. Who cares? We get it.
I am done. I am done with Palantir's multiples.
No, the multiples don't matter in this name. I'll let you know when they do.
Forget it.
I'll let you know when the multiples matter. Right now, they don't.
There you go. They don't.
No.
I agree. 100%.
Here's the bull case, at least in my mind, is from a strictly like financial capital flows sense. Right now, there are a lot of people that couldn't buy Palantir up until now because it was too small. That's one source of buying. Like there's now a pool. It's big enough now, and the track record. It's stupid that it took at $40, Palantir was, I can't buy Palantir at 40, but those same people are now going to buy Palantir at 180 or 170, wherever it's at.
Not me, but I didn't buy it at 40. I didn't buy it at 60. I didn't buy it at 80. I didn't buy it at 100. I didn't buy it at 120. And do you know what, bro? I was saying this in yesterday's video. So you and I met with Dan Ives on June 12th. Do you remember?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. That day, Mr. Dan Ives told me, forget about the multiples. Buy Palantir. This is the next Microsoft. This is going to be a $1 trillion market cap company. Okay. On that day, Palantir was trading at $135. If I would have listened to good old Dan Ives, I would have made a lot of money yesterday or this week. Whatever. It is what it is. So
it is what it is. You can't catch it.
I gave up on Palantir. That's it. I don't understand the company. I cannot wrap my head around its multiples. So I'm done with Palantir, bro.
You're done.
Hey, so you think that the $200 gap is going to get filled? So let me share my screen again.
And here's the thing: there are maybe 2 or 3 companies right now. I would say AMD, or not AMD. Microsoft, Nvidia, and Palantir.
Brand new all-time highs.
Actually, Microsoft doesn't count. I would say Nvidia and Palantir might be the only two pure plays on AI.
On AI.
That's working and undeniably working. There is going to be a rush of demand for these stocks at all times until someone else figures it out.
Wouldn't you include Meta on the list?
It's not purely AI.
Oh, okay. I got you. I don't know. In case of a pullback, we have a rising 5DMA at $170. And say that 5DMA is broken into the downside without a panic event in the markets and the end of the world, whatever. I would also keep an eye on this rising 20-day moving average coinciding with a previous 52-week high, pretty much 158, or a previous all-time highs, I should say, 158. But yes, I think that in regular market conditions, unless, I don't know, the VIX rises up to 30 points and, I don't know, the world is going to end, I don't know, maybe we have a super overheated CPI data report next week and the markets, go and, I don't know, on risk of mode, whatever it is. I can see this stock going up to $100. And wow, what a beast. I mean, I don't have...
For those of you that think, how could it get to $200? This would be the same as an $18 stock going to $20. It's totally possible.
It's possible.
Don't let the fact that it's a big number dissuade you.
It's possible. Very possible. The technical chart says so. Yeah, it could go up to $100. Maybe,
I honestly think that. How do you feel about this? Do you think that Alex Karp is the next Elon Musk?
Dr. Alex Karp.
Do you think Dr. Alex Karp is the next Elon Musk?
Next question.
Next question. All right.
No. I mean, no. The guy's a character, bro. So, did you see the earnings report that was released by the company?
Yes.
It stated, Palantir crushed on expectations.
Something
never seen before by any company. They said that they crushed the expectations. Unbelievable.
He is the Pat Riley of CEOs. Pat Riley, the owner of the Heat. He one time wrote on official letterhead that someone that called out LeBron James was stupid and dumb and should shut up. And he's like, he ate the $25,000 fine. Like the official Miami Heat letterhead signed by Pat Riley, official NBA communication. Alex Karp just doesn't care. He's got the swagger. And I mean, if you're going to perform like him, why not? Why not? If I were him, I'd have a hard time not being full of myself.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I want to say something before we wrap it up.
Yep.
Because we are about to wrap it up. So I want to share this with you guys, and this is something that I was talking about with one of the members of our Discord in English. So guys, this is a very valuable stock, and you know it, Dan. So get this: 1 year out, the expected move for Palantir. Say that we go. Let me pull up here. September 2020. Do we have September? No. Hold.
There's September.
Let me pull up here. No, September. No, this is the option chain. So take a look at September 2026.
Oh, next year.
The next year, correct. 1 year out, pretty much, right? Because it's early August.
Yeah.
So the expected move for Palantir, 1 year out. This is the expected move.
I cannot be reading that correctly. Really?
$96. So, but hold.
That's like more than half the stock.
Okay. So Palantir could be up $96 or down $96 1 year out. So you have to be aware of the fact that this is a very volatile stock. So if you are a Palantir bull and you have a winning position with with an average cost of $100 or $90 or $95, you have to brace yourself for what could be a potential wild year.
Yeah.
And of course, and I guess that you have a long-term position in Palantir. Dan.
I have one that was small and now it is very big. I have no idea what to do.
Okay, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
This is going to be a good question before we wrap it up.
Yep.
If Palantir goes down $96 for any reason, I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe the economy dips into a big recession. So as a Palantir bull, would you see this? Like a tragedy. So would this be a tragedy for you, or this would be like, wow, this is a super, buy the deep opportunity. So I am being served Palantir on a silver platter, so I can, keep on loading the boat. What would be your what you be thinking about this potential situation?
So-
it could go up $96, but it could also go down 96.
Context is super important. If we're just falling because the economy, multiples, like it's a broad thing. The VIX is at 30. Then getting Palantir to $50 discount to today's price would be a gift.
So we're talking about $100, $90.
Sure. I'm just saying. I'm saying I would think a $50 decline on a macro event would be a gift. So if I get 100, I'd absolutely buy it. I don't think there's
macro event. Market
event, whatever. But if it was stock specific, and I don't know what it would be, but if it were stock specific, it's a completely different story.
Correct. So if the stock doesn't go down based on bad news about the company itself,
then it's a gift.
That's what you correct.
Well, here's the thing.
If the demand, whenever the markets perceive that the demand is stopping, that's the end of the story.
Here's the
Multiples
story.
is going to compress in a very aggressive fashion. Correct.
Here is the factor about Palantir that doesn't get talked about enough. Right now, this is as political as I'm going to get. We have an administration that is trying to cut costs. Now, the big beautiful bill is kind of a joke. Didn't cut costs, whatever. But we have the powers that be. They want to get rid of the Lockheed Martin's F-35 fighter jet program. They're being very, very stingy about where defense money gets spent, unless it's going to Palantir. In an era where the government is becoming increasingly concerned with being efficient with our dollars, which is something that I think is important, Palantir is showing itself as a company that's not going to waste United States taxpayers' dollars. In an era where we're trying to cut the fat, Palantir's getting heavier. That is something that cannot be understated. And for that reason, if we do get a market event,
he actually wants to cut the headcount of the company.
Yeah,
he says that he can 10x revenue
with less people.
Having way less people than the actually payroll of Palantir.
But do you understand what I'm saying?
Based on artificial intelligence and stuff, of course.
But do you understand what I'm saying about the state of play in the defense contracting world?
Yeah, from a defense contractor standpoint, Palantir could be a huge winner, regardless of the government.
Well, no, they are the big winner. Everyone else in the defense space is talking about how programs are getting cut. They can't get approvals to do this, or that. Palantir's like, oh yeah, we consolidated the Army contracts into one big $10 billion package because streamlined and we're friends. It's a very different tone coming out of the traditional defense landscape than is coming out of Palantir.
Gotcha. Okay, let's wrap it up. Okay.
Yep.
Once and for all with a very tough question. So we have an expected move, 1 year out of $90. So August of 2026, Palantir $250 or $110, in your opinion?
250?
250. 250.
Or 110. How far out?
1 year out, August 2026.
250. First.
250. There you go.
First. It'll get there first. How about this? Both. 250 first.
And correct. Now, but if you made it up to, if the stock goes up to 250, then you can have a pullback down to 250, 200, 190, whatever it is. So
all I gotta say is if we get a massive dip in one of these quarters, Palantir's gonna get hit more than anybody. It's the easiest stock. Hey, listen, I love it. But let's be honest, everyone that's bought it has a profit. It's the easiest stock to sell right now, too.
To sell, correct.
Yeah.
In case of a panic event or whatever it is. Correct, exactly.
Yep.
Okay, so let's wrap it up, bro. Thank you very much.
Play us out.
Hey, we're thinking about doing a live podcast.
Yep.
Would you guys be down for that? Drop a comment.
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Take care.
Take care.
Was our episode.
Episode 6.
There you go.
We'll get it right one day.
Don't
Take
miss
care.
the 7th. Take care. Bye, guys.